What is going on, everybody? In today's video I'm going to be making some custom hats and also going to be doing some screen printed shirts for a company. So I went ahead and got the conveyor drying going first because the shop is cold, so that thing's going to keep it warm in here. And I actually already have this design set on the press already, so it's going to be pretty straightforward. All I got to do is move the front left chest designs a little bit to the left for bigger shirts like 2XLs and whatnot. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to unbox these hats and see how these things showed up. I'm going to go ahead and open up the smaller box first, see how these hats came out. These are the camo hats. These are from Port Authority. They're the flex fit hats. These hats are really nice. They're actually rated for they're like multicam certified by a certain company, but with custom design it comes out really, really nice, especially for people that are into camouflage stuff. So these are cool. Full black hats wrapped around flex fit. These flex fit hats are really comfortable, especially for work wear. So it's not too many hats, but having a single head embroidery machine, it does take a little while. Each hat takes about 20 minutes, so I got to get this thing going ASAP. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the stabilizer for these hats. Make sure you guys can see everything I am doing. Just want to do these vlog style videos for the business. I just want to show everybody, like if a customer comes and wants to see some of my work, I want to show them how we do things and how I set everything up. It gives them a better insider of everything. Cut this tearaway stabilizer for the hats. The main thing for the stabilizer, what it does, it keeps your stitches in place. It's kind of like the backbone to the embroidery, especially if you're like gonna embroider on something really, really loose, or let's just say you were to do something on the back of the hat, it would have like puckering and stuff like that because you don't have anything to stabilize it. Let's go hoop these hats and get this thing going. So this is basically the hooping process. You grab the hat, you grab the stabilizer first, you grab two pieces. It's always recommended to put two pieces on anything. Put the stabilizer just like that. You want to fold this up. It's kind of like a how-to video too, huh? But I wanted to just learn how to do more vlog style stuff, just for people that want to watch and see how the whole process is. Maybe if you're considering opening a print shop or starting embroidery or wanting to start screen printing or anything like that. I want you guys to see the back burner of everything, not just like the storefront, So I'm gonna hoop this hat. This thing is ready to go and to be put onto the embroidery machine to make the design. I'm gonna hoop both of these. So what I do, I get the embroidery machine going first, and then I start working on the screen printing, like the registration stuff and whatnot. That way I have the embroidery machine making money while I'm trying to set up everything. Kind of like having another worker there, but just got to make sure the design is well put, because if you have a lot of issues with like needle breaks, thread breaks and whatnot, it's kind of a pain to be going back and forth. Kind of just got to focus on one thing at a time. But once you get it going, it's honestly not too bad. Now that I have the hats hooped, I'm going to go ahead and pop them into the embroidery machine. I'm going to make sure I have the proper bobbin in the embroidery machine. The bobbin is a little thread that stitches everything, so it's actually two threads. The top thread and then the bobbin thread hoops the top, and then it makes the stitches. There's the bobbin. It's full, ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back in the machine. Got everything lubed up too, so that's ready to go. Actually, I got to lube up the bobbin casing, so I'm going to get that going right now. Just one little drip. All I got to do is put this on there just like that. Click on the design, shift to needle 1, move the design all the way around the hat to make sure it's where I want it to be. Right in the middle, all I'm going to do is click start. I got to put some pallet tape on here. You guys, if you're looking into getting into screen printing, get yourself some pallet tape. A layer of tape that goes onto your pallets. It saves you tons of time. Now that I have the whole press set up with all the pallet tape, I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive. If you don't put any of this on there, your shirt's just going to lift up. Really what holds the shirt onto the pallet when putting ink on the shirt. That's literally all you need. I might put a little bit more. Literally squeegee the whole thing. That's perfect. This is why screen printing comes out to a little bit more expensive, because the setup process is a lot more extensive. The next step is heating up the pallets. You want them nice and warm. If you warm up your pallets first, your prints come out way, way nicer. When it comes to screen printing, if someone orders, it's like, hey, I want a design and it's 5 different colors, honestly, the minimum is going to be like 50 shirts, because the amount of time it takes to do it, I don't charge setup fees, but it has to be worth my time. So that's why I got that DTF printer. to handle smaller orders. I've been doing a lot of shirts for the company. Honestly, that's why I have it just left on the press, because whenever they order, it's ready to go. Before I was cleaning every screen, just rescreening everything, putting new emulsion on it. That takes forever. Just if you got a customer that's constantly returning, just save the screens to the side for them. It's going to save you a lot of time and headache. That's what I started doing, and I'm never going back. This is how these are coming out, guys. The quality of these hats are legit. The next step is to modulate all the ink. Doing is stirring all the ink, waking up the ink. I bought these pretty cool mixers to hook up to the drill. Be easy on the drill though. Mine just started smoking and it smelled really bad. I had to put that thing outside. For now, this is doing the job. It's working. Maybe eventually when I get super busy, I'm gonna have to make some changes and buy myself a mixing table. You get the mixing table, put the ink bucket on the mixing system, mixes by itself. It's like having another hand. I got the ink mixed already. You'll know when your ink is cold, it is thick, especially in the winter. You want to activate and wake up that ink that's been sitting. I'm going to start putting shirts on the press, and I'm going to check what temperature my ink is coming out at the end of the conveyor dryer to make sure everything is tip top. I'm going to get my donut probe. Donut probe, I'll show you what that is. It's a little probe that sits on top of the ink, and it tells you the exact temperature of what the ink is to ensure that the print is fully cured. That way you don't have any cracking, that way the ink doesn't fall off when you wash it. These are the crucial steps I take to make sure that my prints are 100% fully cured. Invest in the equipment because it goes a long ways. Also switched over to a different ink. I'm not going to say any names on who I was using before, but I am now using One Stroke ink, and honestly it's a game changer. This ink is a lot more efficient for me, effective. The curing is on point. Previous ink that I was using was giving me a bunch of issues. I was curing it at what it needed to be, or low cure, and it wasn't. Honestly, it was cracking. I was having issues. I removed all that ink, put the One Stroke ink onto the press. No issues at all. I damn near ripped the shirt and the ink didn't crack. So, with that being said, One Stroke ink is the way to go for me, myself. It's a little more expensive, but honestly, it saves me time and it gets higher quality stuff that's coming out of the shop for my customers and the people that buy stuff off of me. That's what I'm gonna go with. What I do before I run the initial shirts, get myself a test shirt that I've printed on a couple times before I start full production, because if I mess this up, I'll mess up to 6 if I don't catch the mistakes before I start. So I'm gonna make sure ready to go. Just gonna fully put the shirt on. Since this is a test shirt, I don't have to worry about where it's going. Go ahead and bring in the ink back and forth like this to kind of just wake up the ink, even though I already stirred it. Keep down. Off contact is fine too. That's another step that you gotta do. Let me know how you guys came across this video. Are you guys looking to screen print, or are you guys looking for someone to screen print your stuff? So that'd help out a lot. Especially it helps me learn on where my content is going to who and what. Bring it back. I tap my finger on it to make sure it's not wet. That came out really, really nice. The white's gonna be a lot more vibrant. The red as well. It is nicely registered. So I'm gonna go ahead and run this into the conveyor dryer. Grab my donut probe. This is a donut probe. It's Atkins's donut probe. A little probe with 2 metal wires. These 2 wires go onto the ink. It's supposed to be wet ink. You let it's a long wire. That way it goes all the way through the conveyor dryer with the ink. It gives you a live temperature reading of the ink. So this one I'm gonna have to hit it. I like hitting it between 260 and 270. That's a sweet spot. I do the stretch test after, and if that passes, that means it's ready to go. As you can see, the donut probe is on the ink, and it's giving me a live reading of what it is. This ink actually cures from 250. I'm going to try to hit it at between 260 and 270, nothing above that. These are 50-50 blend shirts, so you cannot go over 300. If not, you'll get some dye migration. Cool thing about the ELT series ink that I'm using now from One Stroke, it has properties that reduces the amount of dye migration in garments that have polyester. So with cheaper inks, your white will turn gray if you're using on a black. If you're doing it on a red shirt, your white will turn pink. Alright guys, so it took me a little while to dial in the conveyor dryer, but it's dialed in and ready to cure some shirts. Also got all the shirts loaded onto the press, and ready for some ink.
Although it takes some time to set up the press, once everything is dialed in and registered, it can make tons of shirts within an hour. Also, the quality comes out really, really nice. With that being said, guys, this is it for the video. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Comment down below if you want to see something more in depth or if you have any questions. Hit the like button. I'll catch you guys on the next one.